It began last night. The new 2020, the power of 2020, and the power of Primetime Live join forces. More anchors, more eyes, sharper focus. Now 2020, 3 nights a week. Good things just keep getting better.
Tonight, incredible pictures, a real-life exorcism. Can the devil inhabit your body? This young woman and this doctor say yes.
She's haunted by an evil spirit. She's haunted by a demon, and it is something that we believe is associated with the devil.
See it happen in primetime tonight.
Friday, The Secret Letters of Elvis, even a suicide note. But were they really written by the king?
But when I read this, it's like Elvis is reaching out from the grave.
A new voice adds more mystery to the legend of Elvis on 2020 Friday.
34 years after John F. Kennedy was killed, the other side of JFK, the secret deals, the plots to murder Castro, the reckless personal behavior. How much of the truth do you really know? Listen to the evidence. Dangerous World, The Kennedy Years with Peter Jennings.
Thursday at 9, 8 Central.
As the presidential crisis continues, Americans are staying with the network that first broke the story. On every ABC News program, sharp, focused, up-to-the-minute coverage. Whenever news happens, we'll be there. That's why more Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
He just took over. Jump shots, block shots, layups, dunks.
He's a force no one can deny. And on the court, few can reckon with.
Brashness, confidence, exuberance, energy. He definitely had that.
Michael Jordan!
The greatest of all time.
Michael Jordan, a legend to millions.
People who were not basketball fans wanted to see basketball because of him.
Another chance to root for Michael Jordan.
I'm Forrest Sawyer, and this is the first broadcast of Day One.
From day one, this broadcast has made waves, telling human stories.
He knew he had the HIV virus.
In a way that is decidedly different.
Nobody has a fairy tale relationship. Nobody is perfect.
Led by anchor Forrest Sawyer, Day One and its diverse roster of correspondents shows much promise to be. The reporting of Sheila McVicker.
Forrest, no one says criminals should not be punished, but even in prison, the law sets limits.
He said that he wanted to get together with me in a sexual way. It's time that the truth came out.
There's Jane Doe 80, Jane Doe 15, Jane Doe 14, Jane Doe 13. Are all these women lying?
Every one of those ladies are lying.
And then there was Michael. The world heard his side.
Were you scared of him? He was very strict, very hard, very stern. And just a look would scare you.
Only Day One had the Jacksons' reaction for the record.
Who's bad?
A world of topics, the finest journalists to cover them, the most clever perspectives. This is Day One, ABC's youngest skewing news magazine, already out delivering Dateline NBC and CBS's street stories in key demographics. Forrest Sawyer, Sheila McVicker, John Hockenberry, Michelle McQueen, Jay Shadler, Lisa McCree, and Jeff Greenfield. From ABC News, Sunday is Day One.
If any good came out of Oklahoma City, it is the same thing that came about in various places around the world this year, and that is that average people faced with extraordinary circumstances rose to extraordinary heights, and they really became heroes, and we would like to salute them right now.
building looked a bit like a dollhouse, like you could reach in and move pieces inside.
I'm Peter Jennings at ABC News headquarters in New York. We interrupt briefly to tell you of a major explosion in Oklahoma City.
There's a daycare center in this building with lots of children in it.
The death toll in Oklahoma has now passed 100, including 15 children. And the grim search goes on.
It looked like what you'd imagine hell would be like.
Sergeant John Avery was one of the first rescue workers on the scene.
We heard a baby crying. The officer that was with me picked up the one baby and cradled him in his arm and then ran out. I picked up the second baby and put him in my arms and ran out of the building.
I was checking for vital signs. I was just hoping there was something we could do.
Out of nowhere comes this man. I don't know who he is today. He risked his life against orders.
We have been told that while we're on the air, at least 2 more survivors have been pulled from the wreckage.
ABC News investigation is... And I looked up and I saw this large group of firemen running just as fast as they could.
I have never seen such an outpouring from the civic workers here, from the police, the fire.
Joining us now live from Oklahoma City is Assistant Fire Chief John Hanson. His work at the moment is a little more trying than what any of us have to go through.
Our troops are still excited. They still want to be in there. They still want to help people. That we still believe we could have some survivors. And that's what's keeping our folks motivated at this point in time, the possibility of having survivors.
The Oklahoma bombing seen through the eyes of a doctor.
I think my one greatest wish is that for all of the children to go on and recover fully and live full lives would be an enormous healing, would be the greatest gift.
Just 2 days after the unprecedented tragedy in Oklahoma, a major break in the case.
We got to forget about the bad guys and think about all the good people out there that sent their love and prayer to us.
12 hours after the bombing, a 15-year-old girl found alive. Rick Nelson, a young ER doctor, helped save her.
It was really miraculous. The position she was in was the only possible position I think she could have been in and lived.
The volunteers, some black, some white, some brown, all linked together in courage and compassion.
Because we all felt such strong emotions for those who had suffered loss and those who were involved in the rescue. In the days since that explosion, we've all been Oklahomans.
To me, they are heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Walters.
Out of this deepest evil, out of this horror, out of this tragedy, out of this grief, came what is most remarkable about America, men and women rising above their own day-to-day occupations, their own troubles, their own concerns, with one thought in mind: to help. It was the best of Oklahoma. It was the best of this country. We would like to close now by letting you hear a voice of a young 8-year-old girl who in a Sunday morning memorial service in Oklahoma City sang to us all and began the healing. You probably saw her first in Good Morning America. Her name, Michaela Enriquez.
Somebody's down to their last time. Somebody's running out of time. Not too far from here. Somebody's got nowhere else to go. Somebody needs a little hope. Not too far from here. Whoever knows that you're my hero.
with tension headaches, pain mounts up. You feel dull, depressed. Tension puts nerves on edge. Aspirin, with its one pain reliever.